Commissioner Alexander,
Present.
Commissioner Meyer,
Present.
Commissioner Riordan,
Present.
Commissioner Oleta Reed,
Here.
Commissioner Vice Chair LaBouffe, and Chair Costello.
Here, thank you. So now's the time to review the agenda. We just got a lot of paperwork here, so I'm not sure everyone's had time to look at everything. So take a moment. If there are any items that arose after the 24-hour posting, right, for this special meeting. This is the point in the meeting where we can take a vote to add the item to the agenda. So I think everyone needs a moment to look over some of this paperwork. Let me know when you're ready. Is there anything to add to the agenda? Do you need more time? No, good. All right, thank you. And now it's time for public comment. Is there any public comment? Members of the public wishing to address the commission on matters within the jurisdiction of the city of Seaside, but not on this agenda, may do so during the public comment period for up to 3 minutes. Comments on specific agenda items are heard under that item. Please state your name.
Diane Nielsen, Seaside resident. I would like to request that this meeting be on Zoom and accessible for public comment on Zoom. And I'm wondering why it isn't, because I think all the other meetings are at this point.
It is on Zoom.
And you can comment.
Not that I don't think that's being allowed in the city yet, but
It is being
is
allowed
now?
in the city, yeah. So I'm requesting that either we know why we can't comment on Zoom, or if they can change that. It doesn't make sense to have it on Zoom and YouTube if you can't comment, like,
Yep, thank you.
yeah. And yeah, that's my request and question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we facilitate that, or is that,
I think you can comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so it is open to comment?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. So under our business is, we're at 5A. We're going to review the neighborhood improvement annual work plan. And so we have a proposal, I think. So I think it's it's your turn. See your proposal.
Thank you. Members of the commission, I am Craig Nalen. I used to work here and I do again. A little more time only. Making light of it, I'm the interim city manager. I was the city manager for Seaside from 2016 to 2021. The best 5 years of my life, I'm sure. So, and I want to be respectful of the commission's prior work on this topic. I know that you've been working on this for a bit, and I sort of got inserted at the end. So you can politely tell me that my ideas are have no value at this moment, and I'll go quietly sit down. But as I reviewed the draft staff report, it's clear that the NIC has a happy problem to solve, which is the NIC has resources beyond which it has made allocations for. I've been in government 35 years. It's usually the other way around. You don't have all the resources you need to do the work that you want to do. So, and at the September 3rd meeting, the NSC voted to allocate remaining balance of $142,000 equally to Parks and Rec, Homeless, Arts and History, C Jobs, and Public Works. And again, if that's your recommendation, again, staff will communicate that recommendation to the city council, and city council will deliberate on that and make their own final determinations. As I look at the calendar, though, it appears to me that there is an opportunity, perhaps, to engage the other commissions by simply asking them or making them aware that there is this $142,000 sort of pending in a recommendation to the city council. That you, again, for your good and valid reasons, equally sliced up. But maybe one of those commissions has an idea that's maybe might cost more than the $28,000 or so that is the equal slice. So maybe you could ask them just to not make a big elaborate presentation, not have the whole drag each of the whole commissions down here, but ask the chairperson if they would submit something, and I'm making this up, not more than 3 pages of an idea, if they have an idea that they would want the commission to review and discuss, and again, have a special, then this would require a special meeting on, and I'm just making this up, September 26th, 2 weeks from now. And a representative from those commissions could be here to answer any questions, and then the commission could deliberate and say, well, maybe Commission X has an idea that's worthy of this commission's recommendation to the city council. So that's my general recommendation, to maybe allow one less chance for all the commissions to make a play for some resources, because this commission has more resources than you have allocated. Secondly, as I was looking at the list of things, and it's a good list, I was struck by one thing, and maybe had 2 other ideas. The thing that I was struck by is there's cutout artwork at gateways, and I think this might be similar to what Salinas has. And I don't want to be disrespectful in any way, but we have a really swell little seaside sign gateway just over there. And let Salinas do their thing. Maybe we could have our sign replicated or changed a little bit. You could, have the same font, but have it in different materials, or have it in different fonts and different locations. But if there's $142,000 available, you could make it so that people have their picture taken at other seaside signs here, and that could become a thing, that people have their picture taken at every seaside sign, and everyone will have a different backdrop. And again, that's the actual design of it is a whole separate topic. But I would just suggest that that's an opportunity that we might consider. 2 other opportunities that you might consider is there's some initial discussions underway for something called a Fab Lab, which is a fabrication laboratory, where it's largely dedicated toward high school students who, though it can also be used for adults in the community who have access to like CNC machines and 3D printers and such, that they can produce actual items. And maybe in the future, there might be a medallion or something. There might be something that the Neighborhood Improvement Commission would like to have fabricated. Maybe identifying certain neighborhoods. You see that in a lot of communities. Neighborhoods start to have their own sort of a favorite image, and the Fab Lab might be able to do that. So you might want to think about maybe carving out some money for the Fab Lab. And the next one is maybe the goofiest one, but let me try and describe it. Prior to coming here, I was a city manager of Davenport, Iowa, for almost 14 years. Davenport had I'm a volunteer firefighter in Wisconsin, and I cannot turn this thing off for good reasons. So I'm sorry, there's an accident in Wisconsin that I cannot get to. Sorry. Wait. All right, you know, I'll just say, if you're ever looking for something really wonderful to do, be a volunteer firefighter. Not because I am a great firefighter, but you get to work with these wonderful people and they do great stuff at all hours of the day and night. Okay, getting back to the goofiest idea. I was the city administrator for Davenport, Iowa for almost 14 years. We built like a $1.5 million skate park. So it's a bigger skate park than what we have here in Seaside. What tends to happen is wherever I go, a skate park follows. And what they did, that skate park was substantially larger and had a series of bowls, like full-on bowls, like that you would see in large skate parks. And one of the things they did was they painted like this picture of a shark, like with its jaws open, you know, about to consume somebody. And they did it in a way that kids figured out that they could skate and look as if they're escaping the shark's jaws. Right. So that became a thing. And you had to be like a good skater to do it. It was like high up on the wall and you could like get out all the way up out of the bowl and look like you're escaping, you know, jaws. So that has always just been in the back of my mind. Isn't that an interesting thing? And then I as I got here, I went back to the skate park and looking, there's a nice mural, and that's great. That's wonderful. But then I'm like, oh, we have this bay and we have all these other sort of surface areas. And why couldn't we make the surface areas of the ramps, we don't bowls, but we have ramps, make it something like skating through an underwater experience? Wouldn't that be like a super cool thing? So that's just, that was my idea. Again, of all the ideas, I think maybe the silliest. But I'm happy to answer any questions about any of those ideas. And I want to thank Adolfo for doing all the hard work to get the commission to this point. I want to thank the commission for volunteering your time. And I'll just go sit over there now. Thank you.
Can I ask you?
Oh, sure.
Before you go, thanks. Can you explain a little more about the Fab Lab? Because I just
Yeah.
heard rumors
Yeah.
about it. Didn't know if it was started up yet.
It is not starting up yet. There's an industry who I shouldn't name at present that wants to fund this the creation of a fabrication lab. And our Parks Department is working to make that idea move from idea to actual reality. So I think that's something that's going to be discussed, you know, more broadly in the community in the months ahead. But we at the staff level are working on turning concept into reality there.
Thank you.
So there, you know, and it could start as early as next year. So in this fiscal year, later in this fiscal year, there could be some resources applied to it because I think it will happen before then.
Any other jump in with questions?
Through the chair. It's not a question, it's just a comment, which does, I think, fall under our item A topic, but just the idea of making the funds available to, or at least letting all the, not making it available, but making sure that all other commissions know about it and maybe come up with some ideas. But this leads to a broader discussion, I think, of for us here. But thank you.
A comment too. I just thought we just didn't have enough time to go
Yeah.
out to the other commissions. So I'm glad that we're hearing this from the CM. Saying
Yeah.
that maybe we do have enough time to do this.
Well, again, I want to be respectful of all the work that you've put in and recognize again that I come here sort of near the end. There's one of my management philosophy is there's never a bad time to do a good idea. So I know the council would like to hear from the NIC and deliberate and act on the recommendation. And I'm just raising my hand ever so slightly to say, I've also heard that there are some commissions that did not think that they had the opportunity to engage this commission. And if you have this happy challenge of more resources than you have allocation, than you have directed allocations for, I think you can take a step back and just ask them without moving the schedule at all if everyone acts quickly. Or certainly not moving the schedule much at all if you give them a little more time.
Okay.
Thank- Madam Chair, may I?
Mhm.
So I just want to be clear that I understood what you just said. So what you said was reach out to the other commissions and have them present their ideas to us in time for the next meeting, for our next NIC meeting, which will be next October.
Well,
or
well,
this
no,
October.
a little bit different. What I'm suggesting is the commission could direct staff. We work for you, not the other way around. The commission could direct staff to advise the other commission chairs of your pending recommendation of equally splitting up the $142,000. Ask the commission chairs to send something that's not more than 3 pages. I mean, seriously, it could be 1 page. If they have an idea, here's an idea, and we would give that to the commission for you to discuss at a special meeting on the 26th. And if you do it on at a special meeting on the 26th, it can still go to the October 3rd city council meeting.
So we would be discussing their presentation to us.
Yes, and when I say presentation, I think it's really a proposal more than a
Okay,
presentation.
so we would be like vetting their proposal?
Yeah,
Is that your idea?
vetting, you would read their proposal and discuss amongst yourselves whether or not their proposal is better than just equally slicing up the pie.
Okay. I see. Oh, okay. And that was because you, as you said, they could have something that is a good proposal, but it's more than the amount that we've proposed to allocate them.
Right, and some other commission, could maybe not respond, and you could take that lack of response as they don't need $28,000. Again, I've not talked to all of them. I just noticed that there's $142,000 that you have generally equally split amongst the other commissions, and I think there's time to ask the question, can we do it a different way or maybe a better way?
Well, it's good to know that we have time because you weren't here last year, but we did do that last year. We did reach out to the commissions and we did, forward up to the city council some of the ideas, not just Nick's ideas, but other commissions' ideas. So
Right.
we did do that. And so we would have liked to have done that, but just this year, it just didn't, pan out for us.
Sure, understand.
But maybe we can now.
It's
Thank you.
Your
Any
decision.
other
Chair,
question? Mhm.
I say, yeah, I'll just cut to the chase. We were told we didn't have enough time. Okay, to do it the way we did it last year. It wasn't, we were told we couldn't do it in the amount of time we had. And so I think I'm gonna say, for me, I'm a little shocked that we have this time. And I think we should do it the way you're saying it, that we should step up and just have the commissioners come and submit.
I'll just say this in response. Again, I'm the interim city manager. I appreciate everything that all of our staff does all the time. My orientation to city government, and the reason I selected city government is we work 24/7, 365. Okay. The idea that we can't do something always bugs me. We can do things. We can work. If you decide tonight that you want the other commissions to give you a proposal by September 25th, they'll know that tomorrow. And they'll have 2 weeks to do it. And then you get to decide.
Can we hold you to that?
Absolutely. I am the interim. I'm also the city manager. So I can do things myself, it turns out. I can write a memo and distribute it by email.
Thank you. Great, thank you. And now I'm not sure what to do. Can you give me?
Well,
my
so,
right hand
oh,
man?
if you don't mind. So I mean, we are on
We're still on.
Still on A, and I think there our meeting tonight is to discuss, where is it here? Is to
Is to
discuss
approve.
A. So,
That's.
yeah, so, I think, we just got it all right there, and, it's maybe new information, maybe something that was kind of hinted to us last time. We decided not to go that way because of time, because of other reasons. So I think now we talk about that, but there is one thing I do want to bring up before we start talking. And I think there is, from some sources, a hint, let's put it that way, that these projects we look at should be brick and mortar. And if we're going to take these funds and go 10 different ways, let's say, I'm not sure how many different commissions there are, and expect them all to be brick and mortar, that's going to be very tough. In fact, some commissions may not even do things that are brick and mortar. And we have to understand that. And does that mean it's not neighborhood improvement? I don't think that necessarily. We have to look back again and see what neighborhood improvement means. And we've got 5 objectives right there. And not all of them basically say brick and mortar, meaning that you have to see a result of something. So I think that's just something we need to discuss. What does neighborhood improvement actually mean? Okay. Seeing something, we have seeing a cleanup, seeing a bench, seeing I'm sorry, through the chair,
No, that's
seeing
fine.
the result of something. And not all commissions may be of that. Their work may not be of that nature. An example would be the homeless commission, I would think. As far as I can think right now, there might be something, but so some commissions may have something that is not the result, is something that we can actually see done, that can, again, brick and mortar, within, for lack of a better explanation, it is a park bench, a sign, a skateboard, a park, something that can be done as well to improve the neighborhood, which then might lead to the question, what does neighborhood improvement really mean?
Thank you. And we do have a great, our explanation of what we're to do is in that first paragraph here from the city manager. So that's quite clear, but to help clean up the city, that is to your point of the homeless showers, that's it could be considered that to clean up the city, but we're all of our projects are so far within those parameters. All right. So, I think we need a motion if we are going to ask staff to reach out. Would you like to have a say before we move? Public comment before we make a motion. Yeah. Public comment is open now for this item on the agenda. I know, I get tattooed right here next to the pause button.
Good evening, Neighborhood Improvement Commission commissioners. I'm Bobby Maxwell, the chair of the Parks and Rec Commission. And I had planned to say some other stuff, but the city manager so eloquently came up with new ideas. So I just wanted to say thank you for your time, for volunteering. You're very much appreciated in the community, and just keep up the good work. And we'll be forwarding our commission's ideas to you ASAP. We have a meeting Monday, so thank you all.
Thank you, Bobby.
Diane Nielsen, Parks and Rec Commissioner. I am glad this has happened because I felt that you haven't had a clear direction from where you needed it. And you've agreed to do some things that city staff has directed you to do. And that's nice. And I think that having that restart to get the commission's input like you did last year makes a lot of sense. And I appreciate you working on this. And I want to say, I'm a real stickler about being available for public comment. And if we are able to comment on Zoom, we need to ask the people on Zoom. Is there anybody on Zoom who would like to comment? That's my other thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diane. And is there any public comment on Zoom?
There is.
Great.
Carla X Lobo, would you like to speak?
Yes, thank you. Carla Lobo, community member, also commissioner for the Parks and Rec. Just to understand, this commission was directed by staff, whoever the staff liaison was prior, to prioritize certain projects from staff recommendation. And within those parameters, they were also in some capacity told that there was a time constraint, which eliminated the process of elimination or just opening it up, the dialogue within commissions to submit projects. I just want to get clarification on that portion. My question is with regards to the allocations. I know that 142,000 to be split within the commissions. I see Parks, Homeless, Arts, CG, Jobs, and Public Works. Has this commission considered allocating a certain percentage to Parks and Recs? And I say that because we are, I believe, the only commission that has a master plan that's also plugged into the strategic plan. And so perhaps instead of having us have an annual project, we have a percentage that meets the needs of that annual project, like the tree giveaway, the annual FAFSA support, because they are supporting our parks, which coincides with our work in our commission. And then any subsequent large capital expense projects that we have as a commission so that we can filter that out. So instead of us getting the 28, our percentage may be a little bit larger, which it is already when you take into account, we have 10 grand here for the tree giveaway, and then the Capra Park revitalization that also falls under our capacity as well. So just some of those suggestions. I would also open it up to the businesses in a larger capacity. As one of the commissioners mentioned, what is neighborhood improvement, right? Does that include brick and mortar? And if it does, at what capacity does that look like? Perhaps there is local businesses that may have plans that include a pocket park that's near their business that they'd like to revitalize. And so opening up those ideas would really benefit this commission, specifically because you have a large pot. But also, we're not getting voices out here. I mean, I barely found out about this week. And so our commissions aren't getting this information either. We're not having announcements from our commissions, city staff. And so I know Mr. Malin mentioned that he can send a memo out. This is important. This is a large pot that we all should have a say in. And so perhaps maybe yearly, that announcement should be going out with a sufficient enough time so that we're not getting miscommunication from staff, alluding to that we don't have enough time to incorporate others. I'd also like to know what projects were prioritized or staff's recommendations out of this attachment to this agenda. I yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments on Zoom?
Bertrand Duprez, would you like to speak? No more comments. No more comments.
That's it.
There are no more comments.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments? Then, I'll wait to close it because Tiffany had a response to one of those public comments. That's
So
okay.
just to the public comment that was on Zoom. Thank you very much for that public comment. And I would like to say that we have asked to have it on our agenda, to have it agendized, that we start this process in January. So we want to, it is our intention as a commission to start this process in January so we can get the word out to the other commissions and let them have a piece of the pie. We want them to have the time to meet with their members and present those projects to us in a timely manner so that we can get them to the city staff and that the city staff has the time to respond. So we just want to let you know that that is our goal, and we do have that as a plan of action. And then just to go back, we would have liked to have done that this year. It just didn't. It didn't work out. It was something that we did last year. We wanted to do it this year. And I don't want to put the blame on anybody. I just want to say that it didn't work out the way we wanted it to. And that was what we would have liked to have done. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And a comment from.
To follow up on that excellent comment, and I want to also make clear that there's no blame being assigned anywhere here. At present, our Human Resources Department is processing 18 recruitments. 18 in an organization of this size gives you some idea of how many people are doing 2 and 3 jobs, or doing jobs that 2 or 3 people used to do. Okay, so that is a challenge, and I suspect that challenge, resulted in people saying, I'm sorry, we couldn't do it the way that we did before. The NIC used to be the liaison was our chief building official, as my recollection. I can tell you that I've made an offer to a chief building official, and we're going through the final background checks now. Either tomorrow or next week, we'll probably have good news in that regard. And I would expect that chief building official to return to be the staff liaison, because we always tried to have our department heads, when I was here, have our department heads be engaged in the community beyond just the narrow confines of, the processing administrative work. And it always struck me as a good idea to have the chief building official be the liaison to this commission because of their code enforcement connection. So you'll be in a much better position. I can promise you'll be in a much better position next year to do this. And I recognize, again, this is a little bit late. So we can't probably do the most robust commission outreach ever, but we can still do some.
Thank you. And now I'm remembering, I just want you to note that I'm closing public comment. Noted. All right. So moving on. I think we have 2 choices here, and that is our recommendation here is to review the annual plan and have it presented to council, or we have another special meeting and ask staff to notify the other commissions to present to propose other projects at that special commission. So that's our direction.
Chair, I'll make I can make a motion in a second here, but well, you had your light on first. Did you want to? I mean, you didn't say, you had it on, and you didn't say anything, so.
I just want to make a comment, I guess, that,
Oh,
we could have as many special meetings as possible in order to make this work.
Mhm.
And we shouldn't be restricted to just once a month in order to make this happen. We can have a special meeting, well, hopefully once a week. I mean, it's too bad we can't just meet at a coffee house and talk about it. Happy a whole lot.
Don't think we can. But I think that's a great idea. Other comments on?
And I guess, Madam Chair, that Commissioner Letta Reed is alluding that we take the time to not just put this deadline on the other commissions, but maybe give them more time. That we still put a deadline. But then if there's any lingering or
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't get in, maybe the city manager can answer that.
Sure. Again, a good suggestion. The difficulty is the fiscal year does march on. So I think if we give them 2 weeks, basically, to give you not more than 3 pages, it could be 1 page, it could be, 3 sentences that are brilliant and okay, fine. And if the commission makes a recommendation then on the 26th, at a special meeting on the 26th, that can be communicated to the board on October 3rd. And the board,
The city council.
listen, I work for a village board in Wisconsin. I work for a city council here. The city council could hear other feedback at the meeting at which they discuss the commission's recommendation. I'm trying to move things along, broaden the opportunity for some input, and position the city council, to make the best and most informed decision. So I don't know that having more special meetings in this time frame is helpful.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you, Ray.
Chair, I like his idea of the pages being submitted and all that, but I think presentation to us in 1 day from, we pick a night and from 5 to 8 or whatever we do it in, because if they just submit paperwork, then we have questions. And then what do we do? But if they're standing right there, we can ask the questions and then we can vote at the end of that night. Might be a 3-hour ordeal, but at least like the city manager is saying, let's give them some time also to do their thing. And September 25th, so we do it on the 24th, do it on the 23rd or something, and make it happen. Because I think we can do it. And I think other commissions would love to present it. That's all.
Hang on 1 second. I think it would be really helpful to get something in advance of that meeting on paper for each of us to read and be prepared for.
Yeah.
And I think the 26th is going to be the day that I'm hopeful.
And I tend to try to stitch ideas together. So the 26th could be a presentation. I was trying to make it a little bit easier for this commission. But we could ask them to supply the information by the 25th. We could hand it out by email on the 25th. You'll see it the night in advance. They could be presentations. If we do that though, and it's not the end of the world, but it's just something we have to do. If there's quorums from any other commission, we're going to have a multiple joint meeting. Again, not the end of the world. We can do that. I wouldn't advise that. I would ask the chairs or a representative from the commission to be present and make the presentation. So it's just a meeting of this commission is what I would recommend. But certainly a presentation, we can do that if you want that done.
Thank you.
Through the chair. I just want to know, make sure that we're doing, but actually I want to know for myself if going forward, I heard, from the Zoom comment and from one of our commissioners say, get a bite at the pie. And I'm just wondering, or is it a chance at the bite of the pie? So, we're still going to, prioritize and we're just letting everybody know is what we're doing. And it might come down to, you know, it comes down to our decision, but we're still going to prioritize. Okay, that's what I needed to know. And I just want to also say, as far as setting aside a percentage, I mean, because these TOT taxes may change every year. You know, we don't know, it's not going to be the same area. So as far as setting aside a certain percentage for a commission, I don't agree with because of that reason. We just don't know how much we're going to have per year.
Thank you for that. Okay, I'm hearing that most of the commissioners, that's what we want to do. So can I have do we have a motion for
I-
putting this off?
I
or do
can
we-
make a motion.
Great.
Is that okay?
Yep.
So I'm thinking this right here. Right. So I motion that the NIC continue review of the FY 24-25 annual work plan by accepting input from city commissions through September 25th, with a final meeting scheduled for September 26th in advance of approving a recommended work plan to the city council on October 3rd, 2024.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, then that's what we're gonna do.
I did. I said, recommend work plan to the city council on 3 October 2024. And that the city commissions have up until 25th of September. You're welcome.
And then our special meeting does need to be on the 26th, if everyone can do that. And if we can get the building and all of that. So staff is going to get in touch with the commissions.
The commissions will be informed tomorrow.
Okay,
One is present now. They have a head cert.
No, we have to call this.
Yeah, do we have to call for a special meeting?
I think adult.
No,
No,
it's in the motion.
It's in the motion. Okay.
yep. Okay, I think that's the end of 5A. Adolfo, do you have anything to jump in and add there? For 5A?
Reports from staff.
Thank you so much. And then reports from commissioners. Did you have something else? Okay, any reports from commissioners?
Yes. For our 2 dumpsters can come to Mal's. He approved that.
Thank
I double checked with him. And he requested that it gets delivered as late as possible. I brought that up again, that it was just overwhelmed last time. So, but I can be there at any time since I'm doing that one. I live quite close. So
That
just
would
let
be
me know
great.
when it'll be delivered and I'll just show up there.
Well, and of course, they'll be delivered at all different times.
Yeah.
So so the earlier we can get there, the better after
Well-
what happened last year, so.
You know, I got a question to ask about that.
Mhm.
Waste Management does it. And my understanding, no work can start until 8 o'clock in the city. And they're delivering dumpsters at 6 AM
They're not going.
for
to-
construction.
No.
Well,
Oh,
no.
yeah, oh, for
that-
construction.
Yeah,
Oh,
and all that. And they did it right by my house
Okay,
last week. And that's that great beep, beep, beep that goes on forever. Really irritates people. So I don't know if they can deliver that early. So,
yeah, well, I will make sure that they get the
Yeah.
word.
Madam Chair, I was just confused about that. What? We get there earlier? You mean earlier than
If-
8 o'clock?
No, it starts at 8:30.
Oh, 8:30.
And I'll ask her to deliver them as close to 8:30 as possible.
The dumpsters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think last year mine was dumped the
Oh.
night before
Oh,
or placed on the street the
even
night
though they were
before.
just very early.
Oh,
They were very early and they did that for their convenience
okay.
and I've already talked to her about it, but I'll remind again.
Thank you.
And so for my message is just to get as many flyers out as we can. It's on the website. It was in the weekly report. And I'll put it on Facebook and Nextdoor as well. In the weekly? No, we've decided to only put it on
because of all
seaside
garbage.
things so
Yeah.
that we don't get garbage from all over.
And Madam Chair, may I ask, did we decide, could you help me refresh my memory? Did we decide we were just gonna put these with businesses?
That was Ray's suggestion,
Yeah,
but I know my neighbors really liked getting them
Oh, okay.
because, so I think it's up to us, whatever you like to do.
okay, very good.
They really like to get those, you know, of the reminder of it. And any other reports from staff? I know, Adolfo, I want to thank you for all your.
You're welcome.
work there.
And the other report I have is that the cleanup day, it is on our city council news reel as well, so
Oh, good.
message is getting out there.
Thank you so much. Okay. Do you have something else before we adjourn, Ray?
The next meeting says it's October 1st,
That's our regularly scheduled meeting.
so we're gonna have one on the 26th and then have one on the 1st.
And the first is our regular time on Tuesday. You know what? I think we better hold that open.
Yeah.
Because not that, I'm not sure how we'll go on the 26th. And we need to do that well in advance. So we'll keep that meeting open and we can move ahead to discuss things that we need to discuss. We'll figure that out. Yeah.
Real quick, may I ask Adolfo a question?
Mm.
Mr. Gonzalez, is it appropriate to, I don't know, you know, maybe you could school me on that. Is it appropriate to maybe, take this up in the, at some of the bus stops that have coverings?
I believe.
Would we be allowed to do that? It's not our property, right?
If
MSD.
there is a bulletin board on the bus shelter, yes, otherwise
Yeah,
that
probably
would not be
not.
allowed, correct?
And you probably wouldn't want us posting these on a flagpole or something or
Correct.
sign us.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thanks for asking that. Thank you. I think I'm gonna move to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Special meeting on the 26th.